Alright guys, so I just wanted to record this quick masterclass about price objections because these are going to be some of the most common objections that you come across, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be to do with price. When you get to the end of a call, you're trying to close them, but they'll hit you with the old, I can't afford this. So there's a few ways that you do actually want to deal with this, and a lot of the time just knowing how to deal with price objections specifically is going to be the most important skill you can possibly learn that is within closing as a whole. So price objections are by far the most common always, and half the time these price objections aren't actually the real objection. So when people come up with a price objection, we always need to realize and discover and help them figure out that the price isn't the actual real objection. Usually it is a smokescreen. It's a decoy that people will use to be able to resist moving forward. It makes them want to think about things. So if you can get rid of that price objection, usually it is smooth sailing from there. So the key thing with price objections is just getting back into the conversation. You know, we don't actually want to fight with these people. We want to actually work with them and just keep the conversation going. So I often refer this as the looping method. And the reason it's the looping method is because you deal with an objection and then you loop back and reattempt for the close. And usually because price objections aren't the real objection, we need to discover what the real objections are and just continually loop back to what we are originally focusing on. We want to hold frame always when we're actually in this position, because a lot of the time, if people knew with 100% certainty that investing however much money they're going to invest, obviously with our program, they're investing 2K, 2.5K to come in at this point. If they knew 100% sure that by making that investment that they'd get 25 times back in return, they would put money down in a heartbeat. And it is genuinely a 25 times return on investment if they land a 6-figure role. And that's what we do here. We get people into these 6-figure roles with external job opportunities, and you get the ability to work with us. That's why we're all here. So the reason that people are often resistant is because they don't actually have 100% belief that what we're offering them is going to get them towards what they want. So what I mean by this is we actually need to help them uncover what's truly holding them back, because a lot of the time it is just fear and it's resistance to move forward and take action, and price is the easiest thing that they can use as preventing them from actually doing that. But we have other beliefs that we need to change in them in order for them to move ahead. It's not always the price, and more often than not, it is not the price of it. So how this actually works is often people will say, I can't afford to pay that. Or they'll say, that all sounds amazing. I really like the idea of everything. Everything sounds good, but I can't afford it. So the way that you actually want to respond to this is agreeing. It's a push-pull situation. So you want to agree with them up front, but then also be able to steer the direction into something else. So you actually hold the frame of it. So an example is saying, someone says, I can't afford to pay that. You come in response and say, 100%, I completely understand that. And to make sure that we'd even be able to help you in the first place, aside from the money component, what else specifically are you still having concerns about within our program? So this will actually prompt them to fit. They'll think of reasons why they're not actually moving forward aside from the money thing. So often they'll say, and this will actually let them reveal, and we'll be able to find out what's actually concerning them and preventing them from moving forward aside from the money. So it might be just, I'm not sure if I'm actually guaranteed to land one of these roles. And based on what they say, that's when you literally just refer back to what we've already spoken about in the slides and on the call and said, yep, 100%. If the coaching side of things is something that you're not sure about, that is why we have a personal one-on-one coach to work with you and make sure that you can work through each component of the script. You can role play with them to make sure that you are an absolute professional, and that when you do get into closing roles, that you're going to absolutely kill it, because at the end of the day, you get to come on as a closer with us. So your personal coach is going to be there to make sure that you are as effective as you possibly can be and truly turn you into a professional so you can close deals effectively, then that as a result is going to let you get into some of these six-figure roles as well. So if it's not the coaching specifically that is going to prevent you, because that's everything that's going to actually get you to the position of succeeding with our coaching, what else is it specifically? You know, is there anything else that you're thinking about that's giving you any hesitation or not actually making you 100% committed? Then that's when they'll have to then think of another thing, or they'll revert back to the price if, you know, they're still too worried about revealing what they're actually concerned about. People often won't say that they're scared to move forward. They'll use price as a way of putting up a smoke screen and having their defenses up because they don't want to reveal that they're actually too scared to do this. So what you'll notice though is when people say, oh, you know, it's just the coaching side of things that I'm not sure about, it's actually going to help, or I don't know if I'm going to be effective, or I don't know if that I'm going to actually get turned into a professional, I don't know if I'm going to land a role. That's when you notice that the objection moves. So first it was the money, but now we've got them talking about a different thing. So just like that, the money objection is off the table, and then they start revealing what they're actually concerned about. So as soon as that actually happens, that is when we just want to loop back to it. Because if they say that, oh, yeah, no, everything else makes sense, but the price is still too high to actually afford it, and then that's when you actually want to find out either if there is another thing that's preventing them by getting that confirmation saying, so you mentioned that there's nothing else that's actually concerning you, but it's just the price at the moment. Am I right? Yes. Cool. Awesome. So that's when you'll say something along the lines of, I completely understand that the price might be a concern to you, and if there's nothing else specifically about what we offer that's concerning you or preventing you from succeeding, let me just ask you a couple of things real quick so I don't waste your time. So this is when we can turn it back around on them, because at this point it's a belief thing. It's not actually the money. They just don't have the belief to move forward with a decision like this. So this is where we can turn it around and we say, we guarantee you a role with us, but we don't actually guarantee your success in the long term, because you're the person that has to put in the work and show up and do everything required to succeed. So if you're still having concerns, is that because you're not actually willing to put in the time and commit to making this happen? Because as I've shown you, all these roles with high ticket bridge are there and ready to be taken. They're literally $100,000 opportunities directly in front of you, and we've got all of the resources and support to make that happen. So in reality, there's actually only two things stopping you, is belief and skill set. And you can forget about the skill set, because that's why we do everything that we do. We've got the coaching, we've got the resources, we've got all of the support to make sure that you're a professional that can land these roles. So if it's not the skill set, then it actually just comes down to belief. So right now, like, there's something something that's preventing you from having that belief. And I'm just trying to figure out what exactly that is. Like, what else is there that is preventing you from actually knowing that this is going to work for you? And notice when I say that, that's when they're going to have to start thinking like, okay, like, you know, is it actually my own fears? Like, am I the person that's actually, you know, preventing me from doing this? Because at the end of the day, we are providing everything for them to succeed, but they are the ones that have to capitalize on it. So this is what we need to focus on. It's not a problem with what we're doing. It's them not having the belief, whether it be in themselves or in what we do. So we need to steer the conversation in that direction instead of fight with them. So when you start talking about belief and they say, oh yeah, I'm not sure, like, you know, I don't know if that part's going to work or this or anything, that's when you simply just come back and say, you know, belief is something that you're going to have to change in yourself. Because if you don't have the belief in yourself, this isn't going to work out for you. Because as I've shown you, we've got everything that's going to make you succeed. But if you don't have that belief, you're not going to achieve anything in this, and you're not going to achieve anything in your life. And you mentioned at the start that you have the ambitions to become a high ticket closer. Am I right? Yes, correct. So if you do have that ambition, you've got those goals, but your beliefs are preventing you from getting in the way, how are you actually expecting to get to the success that you want to? And then from there, that's when they realize, oh shit, okay, it actually is me that is the problem here that's getting in the way. You know, it's not the program specifically, it is them with the lack of belief. And the way that you can sort of then frame this after they speak about that belief they have in themselves as being lacking to be able to succeed in something like this, and they keep on talking about price, for example, that, oh no, I do have the belief, but it's the price that's a problem. So what then happens is you can actually start talking about price versus cost. So price is not the cost, because the price is what you pay today, and the cost is what happens years from now. The cost that you pay from not doing anything, from not getting anywhere over the next few years, and not actually having that belief in yourself to take action, that cost is what you're actually having to pay. Right now, there is a cost of $100,000 by you not knowing how to make $100,000 as a high ticket closer. Right now, that is the actual cost. The price is literally all you have to pay to come on board to achieve those goals and find that true success. But the cost is the cost of inaction, and that is way, way, way more detrimental to your life than simply just a price tag associated with an exceptional service like we offer. So framing it in that way really, really focuses on us being able to completely differentiate what we're doing here in our program and what we're offering versus all the limitations and beliefs that they don't have in themselves in the first place. So if we then uncover that that personal belief is actually preventing them from moving forward, that's when we can attack it and really start addressing it properly, because this is when they'll actually have a realization of, oh wow, I don't have that belief in myself, and that's what's preventing me from moving forward. I always imagine that it's a price thing, or I imagine it's this and that, but in reality, it's me that's preventing myself from succeeding. So this is when you always loop back to a reclose. So you say to them, so are you going to be the thing that sabotages your own success, or are you going to decide that enough is enough and finally take control of your future? And that's when they have to really intrinsically believe and assess, is the sort of mentality they have going to get them towards their goals, or is it not? Because we can provide them everything, and then all they have to do is capitalize on the opportunities and make it actually happen. So this is often when going for that reclose, you can actually have people ground with you and level with you and start talking about the real shit. Because at the end of the day, it is not about just getting a yes or no on a call. It is about actually being able to help the individual. And if that person is being able to overcome their beliefs and they understand that, okay, like I need to be the person that creates my own success, and they still literally do not have a single cent in their bank account to afford this, that is okay. We need to find out what the actual thing preventing them from moving forward is, because most of the time that price objection isn't true. It's just it's a personal belief objection that they're projecting onto you. So that is the most important thing to remember always. And just to be super clear and transparent with everyone you speak to, you know, you want to be completely authentic. So many different sales approaches are always down the angle of like trying to convince people to buy what they're selling. But at the end of the day, it is not about convincing someone. It is helping them understand what it is that they can get and how they can get from current situation to their future situation where they're living their dream life and they're succeeding what they actually want to succeed with in their life. So I hope this has been super, super helpful for you guys to view and to understand and start knowing what kind of energy and what strategy you need to have on closing calls in order to successfully close people. Because like I said, this one strategy and this one skill can be the most important that you'll ever know as a closer. So thanks very much for watching. As always, let me know if you have any specific questions on certain objections or certain things that you're struggling with, and I'm going to continue recording videos like this that's going to help all of you guys and provide so much value with absolutely everything. So appreciate your time, and I'll speak with you guys very, very soon.